Victims both dead and alive still being pulled from the wreckage of the Bangladesh building where 8 stories came crashing down on 3,000 people. Bank staff working in the building were told not to come to work after cracks appeared in the doomed complex, but garment factories told their employees that all was okay. Let's talk now with Gerald Celente, publisher of Trends Journal, who is really to blame for the 300 deaths and thousands injured. Thank you very much for joining us here on RT, Mr. Celente. So this 8-story building seen disintegrating before people's eyes on Tuesday, yet 5 clothing factories told their workers there was no danger. So how did it come to this? I mean, there were apparently cracks being seen in the building just the previous day.
It's nothing new for Bangladesh. I mean, anybody that doesn't have attention deficit disorder will remember that several hundred people have died in Bangladeshi factories, these sweatshops, just in the last year or so. And it's really it's an international trend that we see growing more and more. As profits are put before people, people are more expendable. So it's just a lot of talk, what you hear from these companies in the West, for example, that say they watch the standards of what are going on in these sweat factories around the world. They're just show. There's really no security. There's really no hard institutions in place that are monitoring these kind of factories.
Now, police responded to the morning workers' protest with tear gas and rubber bullets. Why do you think they reacted so violently? I mean, could it have been more peaceful, and would that have been a more productive response?
I mean, why should it, be peaceful when your families are wiped out? Look who this fellow is who owned the factory. He's a connected politician. By definition, the merger of state and corporate powers is fascism. So in a fascist society, there's no toleration for people to rise up against those that are in power. And again, this is a worldwide issue. I'm old enough to remember in the West when manufacturers wouldn't deal in foreign countries that didn't have human rights statutes in place that met a criteria. Those days are gone. People are disposable. In the last 100 years, Matt, the world has added 5.5 billion people to the earth. So they're disposable items. Again, profits come before people, and if you have to spend more money on building better plants or better equipment, that comes secondary to the bottom line.
Now, the country's authorities, do you think they're to blame, or the corporations for encouraging profits over safety? Or in this case, based on your previous response, there is some nexus between the two of them that's kind of like this hybrid?
It's a nexus. It's a hybrid. Again, by definition, that's Mussolini's definition, a guy who knew a thing or two about fascism or corporatism. It's the merger of state and corporate powers. It's all one show. Again, the guy that owned the factory, the building, he's a politician, and he got all the freedom that he needed to build this inadequate building on swampy land. So again, it's all connected.
So you've got this politician who ostensibly should be caring about the people who are his constituents. What do you think that bodes for the people of Bangladesh?
Well, it's not only the people of Bangladesh, it's the people. Remember with Foxconn with China? Remember, look what's going on in Vietnam? Look what's happening in Indonesia?